Being alone in this cave, forgotten dreams. I've almost forgotten the forgotten dreams. The dreams that we remember, but we have also pursued in our entire swine life. If you are a pig like me, Werner Herzog, you at one point had a dream. A remembered dream that is now once perhaps forgotten. You have forgotten your remembered... Did I forget to remember? Or did I remember to forget? It is hard to say which is first. Is it the chicken or the egg? Is it the pig or the swine? It is the chicken, of course. It is the egg. We all know it's the egg, right? Because the chicken has to come from the egg. But where did the egg come from? The chicken. It sure didn't come from the swine. Hello. Welcome. It is Thursday on Aristotle Full Throttle. There are things happening in the world. News abounds. Dog the bounty hunter is hunting for the laundry. And perhaps he will find him. Perhaps Dog the bounty hunter is the man we need to find. The man who is missing. Hello, Raccoon Raiders. Have you ever seen a swine in his own cave of forgotten dreams? Did you ever watch the movie Cave of Forgotten Dreams? It's my film. I am biased. I am also a pig, but I am also a filmmaker. It is a wonderful film. I wish anyone would watch it. There are cave paintings in France that are 30,000 years old. Artists who roamed the earth painted, look behind me, a horse. It looks as though that is a horse, or perhaps is a pony. Everybody, there are rhinoceroses. There are rhinoceroses. I can only presume an artist was drawing what was in his environment here inside the cave, along to a torch or something like that. Let's take a look at this cave painting. Oh, this is clearly a buffalo of sorts, maybe a water buffalo? It is, they really weren't good artists, to be honest. They're like line drawings. But they're old, and that's what makes them significant. They look like they were done by a child, perhaps. But that is it. It is man in his infancy, interpreting his world. We are still yet toddlers on this planet, yet we wield the power of nuclear weapons, and we can travel into space. Lo, we shall be our own doom. Happy Thursday, everyone. Hello, everybody. What's up, everybody? Oh, I'm out of focus. Out of focus. Aristotle is what my name. There's a guy named Aristotle on SNL. Did you hear about that, guys? There's a new guy. He's stealing my thunder. What I gotta do? What do I gotta do? There's an Aristotle on Saturday Night Live now, and it's all over. Well, we're gonna have to vote who's the best Aristotle. You let me know in the comments below. But you know, I thought I'd win. I thought I'd win that race, but Telly Savalas beat me to it. Aristoteles Savalas. He was a guy who played Kojak. He ate lollipops. He probably died of diabetes. He ate the lollipops every time. He was always had a lollipop. Hopefully they were sugar-free. But they looked like the lollipops you get at the dentist. Remember when you started? That was a racket. Think about this. When you were a kid and you left the dentist and they gave you candy, they were like, see you real soon. You know? I see your game, dentists. And then they changed to like sugar-free candy, probably because they were like, hey, you guys are doing some planned obsolescence with those teeth. These teeth. You know, people say like, listen, if you believe that the Earth was created in 6 days, that's your right. But you're wrong. I'm just sorry about that. But the thing is, when people are like, the human body is the perfect
It's perfect in every way. God made it. It's like, no. Why do we have an appendix? Why do we have these teeth? For ripping and tearing meat. Because we were dogs at one point. We evolved from dogs. That's not true. I love dogs. They're my best friend. You ever I saw this documentary years ago. It was on Nova. It was a show on Nova. It was a PBS show. Yeah, listen, I watch PBS, okay? I listen to NPR. I'm hip. I'm with it. I'm doing what all the kids are doing. Going to the museums and whatnot. There was I'm closing some programs. Show on Nova, and it was about dogs. How they evolved alongside the mans. So men and dogs, we're like truly the finder of lost children. And you will know my name is the dog when I bounty hunt your Brian Laundrie kid. Oh man, that's bringing it full circle, right? Dog the bounty hunter has now chimed in to try to go find that guy that killed, allegedly. He's not even a alleged killer of he's a person of interest. There's a warrant for his arrest for something. For killing Gabby Petito, which is Italian for French for small. Oh, so you're watching that show, huh? You're watching Only Murders in the Building? I saw the first 3 episodes and I was dying laughing. It's very funny. Very funny show. I was sad. I was scared to watch the show because I thought maybe it was not going to be good. And I'd be like, if Martin Short and Steve Martin are in a show that's not good, I will cry my eyes out. Because that would be the end of it. That would mean it's all over. But you know why it's awesome? Because Tina Fey is also a writer on it. And Tina Fey is one of the greatest. And Selena Gomez, she's cool too. I worked with her a few times. Took a bunch of photos on a couple of talk shows that she was on. And she's nice. She's very nice. She comes off as like, listen, between me and you, Selena Gomez is cool. And I don't think she has to try hard to be cool. But she's a secret geek. She's a secret nerd. She doesn't like let on to her nerdery, but she is like, she's always kind of like nonchalant and I'm cool and blah blah blah. But in real life, she's actually like, she's a secret nerd. I think people might be surprised. I don't know if people will be surprised by that, but she definitely is. But also. When I was recording the vocal on that, I said Raccoon Raiders once. I said, Raccoon Raiders. And then I realized that the song modulates, so I had to do it 2 times. I had to do 2 vocal takes in different keys. You're welcome. You're welcome to bring you that.
Game over, man. It's game over. Is there several?
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Got funnies, but also mystery and secret sadness. Yes, it's got a range of emotions. It's got a range. I like it. It's very funny, and here's the thing I really like about that show. It really does remind me of the feeling of New York City. In the very first episode, when Steve Martin is walking on like the Upper West Side, the Central Park West, you're like, Central Park West, maybe not the Upper West Side fully. It is, but he's walking and he encounters people, and I was like, this really does feel like when you're walking in that part of town. It's like, I don't know, there's some shows that don't really capture it. They have like this, I think it just feels like people who have lived in New York City, or, you know, they know the city, so it does, the attitudes of the characters are very spot on. Especially the lady who was like, that's my apartment, I want to get that apartment. It's so funny. And the one lady's like, yeah, your rent is 10 days, 10 weeks past due. Or your fees. It's just people not caring. They're like, nobody even know them. I guess we got to do this for like 10 minutes. There's donuts and coffee if you want it. It's a very different vibe. That they capture everything that's very specific about New York and different about the other cities. Because I think there are a lot of movies that they have New York as a backdrop, but not as a character. And Only Murders in the Building has New York City as a character, which is good. It's people who get it. I like it. It does make me a little bit nostalgic of, because I think of like the Hayden Planetarium and the Museum of Natural History when I'm like looking at those streets. I'm like, oh yeah, we're right by there, the Columbus Circle. The director, the actor, new generation. Yes, Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. They direct the actor and the new generation. Yeah, yes. Martin Short is just such a funny knucklehead. Like, he just goes to places that only Martin Short can. And Steve Martin is very understated and goofy. He's an understated goofy. He used to be a wild and crazy guy, but now he's understated and goofy. And Selena Gomez can carry the seriousness, but also she's hilarious too in her, like, she doesn't care about certain, or she does, but low-key. She low-key cares. But I'm enjoying the show. It's a good show. Watch the show. It has things in it that are funny. A little fighting.
Oh, that's cool.
That is so fetch.
That is so fetch. I did an audition this morning. I was going to do it last night, but then I got too tired and hungry, and I just was like, I'm going to eat food and go to sleep, and then I'll do it early in the morning. And then I got up early in the morning. I was like, I don't want to do it. But I had to do it because, that's part of the job, right? The job is literally you just constantly audition. I'm a professional auditioner is what I usually say, but I've gotten a few things lately, so that's pretty good. But this audition was for a Disney show. Hopefully Disney says, hey, why don't you come on the show and say your 5 lines, and then we'll see if we like you. We'll call you back. This is how it works. It's very much... I'm really, hey, James Bond, No Time to Flop. Oh, I believe that is a reference to No Time to Die, the new James Bond film that I believe just came out. I do like the James Bond movies. That movie was supposed to come out a year ago, but obviously pandemic conditions made it very difficult for that to happen. It just doesn't, It's difficult for people to want to go to movies when they're like, don't breathe the same air as people. Don't breathe the same air as other people. Well, but James Bond, No Time to Flop, welcome. Yes, I do agree that the new James... I'm excited because I think this one was Danny Boyle, and Danny Boyle is one of my favorite modern directors. He did Slumdog Millionaire, he did 28 Days Later, he did Sunshine, he did Steve Jobs or whatever. He did a lot of movies that are just he's got a good way of telling stories, so I'm interested in seeing how he tells a James Bond story. And I'm particularly interested in the opening credit sequence because that is a very Danny Boyle playground to have that sort of abstract intro. Also, the song in the intro, I think, is Billie Eilish. It's a Billie Eilish song. Anybody see No Time to Die? What's your favorite Spider-Man movie? Do you have a favorite Spider-Man? Who's your favorite Spider-Man? What's your favorite Spider-Man movie? It's a tough one today. It's a tough question. It's a age-old question. It's what Plato said in the caves. He said, "Is this real, or is this just an abstract form? Are we seeing reality, or are we just seeing the writing on the wall of Spider-Man 2?" That's how they watched their comic books. It's been a busy week, been hanging out with people. Haven't been hanging out with people as much as I'd like to, but, pandemics and such. But all my friends are vaccinated. We're all vaccinated, okay? So we can hang out. We're gonna have to get boosters pretty soon. But we got Moderna, so Moderna is like the Bentley. Moderna is really, it is the foie gras of, I don't know how to say that word, of vaccines. What's trending? Taylor Swift is trending. Podcast Day. Hey, I'm celebrating Podcast Day and I didn't even know it. Here we are, Podcast Day. Welcome. It's Podcast Day. Hi. Red Taylor version. Got some news that I think you're gonna like. My version of Red will be out a week earlier than scheduled, including the 4-disc vinyl. Taylor Swift always writing songs. Every minute writing songs. That woman. There's a lot of songs that Taylor Swift has. Did you hear that album, 1989? It's incredible. She's got a quadruple album coming out? Or did she like re-record all of her songs? Here's the thing, she has like a whole thing going on with her publishing. And someone said, she was like, well, I don't have the rights to the songs that she recorded before. And Kelly Clarkson was like, you should just re-record all your songs then. Because F them. You wrote those songs, but they might own the recordings of those songs. So you know what? Re-record the songs so that you wrote them and own the recordings of those songs. It's kind of tricky though, because sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle with a recording, and if you try to re-record that same song, it's just not going to be the same. For instance, I learned recently that Living Colour re-recorded their song Cult of Personality. Incredible song, but they re-recorded it, and I was like, it's not as good as the original. Why not? And then I asked my friend, he said, oh, it's because they had rights issues. Apparently the people who owned the original recording of Cult of Personality did not let it revert to the band or something like that. And the band said, you know what? We're going to re-record the song then and put it back out. And then tell our fans that not to listen to your version, just to listen to the one that we re-record. Same song, but with more attitude and passion, it kind of sounds like. But it doesn't quite have the same magic, I think, in my opinion. Because, you know, songs get burned into your head. Imagine the Beatles were like, we gotta re-record all of the Beatles. Every Beatle. Thursday vibes. What are your Thursday vibes? We're talking about Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez, and they're in a show called Only Murders in the Building, which is a fun murder mystery show, but it's also hilarious. It's goofy. It's a screwball comedy. I hope there's like 100 seasons of it because it's really, really funny. I was getting very upset that it would not be a hit. But apparently it is a universal hit. It has like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, let me watch this. Well, here's the thing. Kelsey was like, hey, let's watch this new show I heard about. Yeah, I heard it's good. And then we put it on and I was like, okay, well, I hope it's not bad. And then it turns out it's excellent. And then we get like 2 or 3 episodes in and I'm like, this show is really excellent. And then I went on Rotten Tomatoes and apparently the majority of human beings concur. It has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Pretty good. I like to feel validated in my opinion that way. I ask the masses. I ask them asses. Don't trust the masses, because I'd never trust them asses. See? Want it all. Spider-Man 3. Not everyone's favorite. Not bad, though. It's not a bad movie. People just didn't like it. I think what happens is, we were talking about this yesterday. You've got franchises, right? You got Superman. Zack Snyder tried to revive Superman in the last 10 years. And in my opinion, he didn't really do the best job. He doesn't get the character. He doesn't get characters. He gets visuals. His visuals are incredible. Zack Snyder is incredible with his visuals. He doesn't get character. He doesn't get the basis for all film and television, which is character. You don't have a story unless you have a character. Something has to want to do something, and it has to be hard for that something to actually accomplish doing that something. And in their journey to do that something, they have to learn something. And when they learn that something, that either helps them accomplish the something or not do the something at all, because they've become more knowledgeable, and they bring that knowledge back and they teach a moral lesson usually. And that's how stories are. The point of that story is stories are stories. Imagine getting so meta. How do you do, everybody? Listen to this song in the background. Might as well just, maybe I'll start playing some rock and roll. I gotta take a nap after this, guys. I've been busy in the good way, in the best way. Not busy in a way that's like fruitful monetarily, but busy in a way that is helping me grow as a human and grow in my skills as a person. That's what really it all is about. It's never about achieving perfection. It's about trying to get better no matter what. Because there's a lot of people who are like, it's got to be perfect or else. And then there's me, who's like, we're just going to take swings at it. We'll just try. I mean, that's the new me. I used to be that way. I used to be like, everything's got to be the right exact way. And then you'd end up really not advancing. You know, a lot of times people are like, I will not take the first step unless I know I can take the 1000th step. But you will never know if you can take the 1000th step unless you take the first step. Does that make sense to you? Congratulations. BTS and Coldplay released the music for video for their new song, My Universe. See, one time I was talking about BTS and I was, yeah. I was confused by them. I was like, what's going on? I don't understand, you know. Same thing for me with like One Direction. I feel like that was the moment I got old, was when I was like, One Direction? I don't get it. And then some people were like, yeah, because you're old. You don't get One Direction. Now, BTS makes the people who got One Direction feel old, I'm sure. BTS is just the new One Direction, which is, a lot of people are like, well, they're just the new Beatles. And I'm like, which one's John Lennon? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to talk bad about BTS. I'm just saying, I'm gonna wait this one out. But Coldplay, BTS and Coldplay had a funny thing on their website 10 years ago or 12 years ago or 11, 12 or 13 or 15, 17 years ago. They had this thing that on their website that said, we're either the hardest soft rock band or the softest hard rock band out there. Which is kind of true. They really do go straight down that line of, is this hard rock or is this disco dancing? It's funny, when I was in Amsterdam, if you've listened to the last 10 years of Coldplay, you'll notice that there's a lot of disco dancing sounds. There's a lot of like, this sounds like I'm spinning around, and then there's a disco ball, and that there are lights flashing, and that this should be, it's like a dance club right now. Every song by Coldplay has sounded like that for the last 10 years, and I was like, why, though? You guys used to play guitars and things, and now it's just all synthesizers and dance machines, which is fine. People can evolve. I accept that. However, when I was in Amsterdam, say, all of the music was like that. I used to want to move to Amsterdam. I'm gonna crap on Amsterdam right now. I love Amsterdam. It's a wonderful city. You should go. You will get hit by a bicycle, but it's okay. Just look out for bicycles. It is one of the greatest places in the world I've ever been to. I fell in love with it so much that I wanted to move there. I was like, I want to live here. I want to be an artist and just live in Amsterdam and ride bicycles all day and fall into the canal. And I was like, this place is so fantastic and wonderful. But then the second time I went to Amsterdam, I looked a little deeper. I did another deeper dive, and I said, and I heard there were like street festivals. The coolest thing about Amsterdam is that their queen will literally just walk down the street high-fiving people. They got like cool royalty in the Netherlands. So I went there and I said, I took a deep dive and listened to what the music was, and all of the music everywhere was like dance folk music. It was like acoustic. It was all, who's that guy that died? Genovese? What was his name? You got the new Coldplay CD. Producer who died. He's a young producer. He was Swedish, right? And he had that song that was like an acoustic guitar. Paul Johnson, that's my friend. He's not even 50, so why do I see... CD's nuts. Nice. I got the new Coldplay CD. I haven't gotten the new Coldplay CD. I listened to all of Avicii. That's who it was. I said Genovese, but it's Avicii. Basically, all of the music in Amsterdam is derivative of Avicii. But I always give Coldplay the chance. I listen to every album they have. My favorite 2 albums by Coldplay are Viva La Vida or Death and All of His Friends, which is the title of the album. And then the follow-up album, which was the same sort of recording period. It was like kind of a double album, Prospects March. Those 2 albums, back to back, are my favorite Coldplay albums. A lot of people would say, why don't you like A Rush of Blood to the Head? I'm like, I like it. It was revolutionary. There are a lot of great songs off of that album. You got Clocks, which became like an iconic sound. You hear that song, you know exactly what's about to go down. You're about to get soft rocked. You're about to get hard, soft rocked. So, but it wasn't until those albums, those 2 albums, that I was like, this is what I like. This is what I prefer. And then I was reading it, and Brian Eno. You guys ever heard of this little guy named Brian Eno? Great. Brian Eno, he plays the La Guitarra. He produced and mixed those albums, and they are impeccable to me. There are so many, they are unique sounding albums. But Brian Eno is one of my favorites. Retroactively, he's one of the greats. So, tell me how the new Coldplay is. Does it have BTS on it? Brian Eno produced U2 stuff. That's true. The more of Salamanca. Brian Eno, it's very cool. That's very true. Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois. Daniel Lanois and Brian Eno, they co-produce. They also, one will mix, one will produce. The song "Beautiful Day" is a story I remember hearing about the mixing of the song "Beautiful Day." I think it was either Brian Eno or Daniel Lanois was listening to different vocal takes of Bono, and he was sliding them up and down, and he was like, day, 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 and he kept like sliding the sliders up and down for volume to hear the different vocal takes of Bono. And then Brian Eno was just like passing through, or he was just there and like listening, and he was like, oh no, that should be the way the song goes. So in the when you hear all of those echoing vocals like diving, those da, 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 like in the background of that song, that's because one of the other said, just leave that in the way you just did it. So it's pretty cool. They're both really good, talented musicians. My brother is a very huge fan of Daniel Lanois. Here's a secret between me and you. Daniel Lanois is playing the guitar on 1. It's not Edge. It's Daniel Lanois secretly playing guitar on that. It's Gregorio Salamanca L. Hey, welcome. You had a sign up on Twitch tutor. Yes, Periscope has died. Periscope has officially died, and I've tried to. Well, thank you for coming over to Twitch. I'm trying to get everybody over to Twitch, just consolidated. I think Twitch is the best streaming platform. I think YouTube, even though we're streaming secretly on YouTube right now, I used to use primarily to upload my videos, and this was more for the live stream, for the daily live stream, to talk about music, to talk about movies, to talk about TV shows, and all the fun stuff out there. Talk about BTS and U2 and Coldplay and Brian Eno. Brian Eno is the best. I actually really love listening to Brian Eno stuff. If you can, it's very ethereal and atmospheric. If you're a fan of that kind of thing, go right ahead. It's great. What else is going on? Adele is trending. Taylor Swift fans theorize that singer moved her Red Taylor version album due to release to make potential way for the potential Adele album. Hang on a second. Limp Bizkit says, Limp Bizkit has a long-awaited new song. Dad Vibes is finally here. Long-awaited. I know you guys have been waiting. I know you guys have been feeling those lighters. But now is the time. Now is the time we get the new Limp Bizkit. I hope you are ready for it. I hope you're ready to break stuff. I feel like we should go find that and listen to it. Here's the thing about Limp Bizkit that, between me and you, it's one of those situations that in order to get Wes Borland's incredible guitar playing, you're gonna have to tolerate Fred Durst's incredibly bad singing. It's a trade-off. It's one of those, if you can grin and bear Fred Durst, you can appreciate the incredible talent of Wes Borland. And it's sad that they kind of need each other. That one does not work without the other. It's one of those weird bad alchemies. It's a bad alchemy. That'll be the name of my band, Bad Alchemy. By the way, I lived in both Rotterdam and Amsterdam. Almost stayed. One of my buddies did in the late 90s. Oh, that's awesome. I never been to Rotterdam, but I've been to Den Haag. And do you speak Dutch? I wonder. I do love. I mean, that's a couple of things. It's like Dutch is a very harsh language to the, I think, English-speaking person's ear. I think when you hear Dutch, you'll be like, oh, it's a little harsh. It's very. And you're like, wait, hold on a second. Are you yelling at me? But it's just one of those. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he said, she said. It's all about the Octoon, baby. Yeah. We're just talking music here. It's Aristotle Full Throttle, 5 days a week, noonish. Actually, exactly at noon every day. We do this, and it's fun. We hang out. Oh, guys, I forgot to mention this. By the way, my buddy Lee and Sam, they make movies and stuff. I got to hang out with them the other day. My friend Sam, he gave me a PS4. He gave me a PS4. So now I have a PS4. Now
I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
I now have a PS4, so there are going to be some PS4 games. I do want to play. I know it's pretty old, but Red Dead Redemption. I was going to give away that game. But so PS4, I've got a PS4 now in my possession. So we're going to play some games on the PS4 eventually, soon enough. And also, more importantly, my friend Sam is on an episode, or on this season's American Horror Story. So if you're watching American Horror Story right now, watch it, because Sam is in it. I think his episode premiered last night. Watch American Horror Story to see my friend Sam Boxleiter in that movie. It's good. It's good. He's good. He's an actor. He's been doing it for his whole life, and he's on the show. So watch the show. Support. Got to support your team. Is this even going live out on Twitter? Because I did reconnect my streaming to Twitter. Let me check here. Malignant. I haven't seen Malignant yet. Is this live? Nope. I guess we're gonna have to go on Twitch. You got the DVR set? Sweet. So check out Sam Boxleiter on American Horror Story. And stay tuned, because there will be PS4 gaming. I'm gonna get back into it, I swear. You know, winter's coming. Winter's coming. But I've got this. I've got this Switch, and I want to get Metroid. Metroid comes out in 2 weeks. I'm getting Metroid, and we're playing Metroid. Every time I play Metroid, I will be playing it. I will stream it. I love Metroids. I love the Metroid games. Samus is great. You missed my comedy skits? My comedy skits? Bah! He says, hey, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Comedy sketches? There's nobody talking here. What's going? None of the buttons work. None of the buttons work. I disappeared. I'm back. I'm back. What's going on here? You missed the comedy? Oh, you got. I don't miss his comedy. Frankly, I find his comedy not funny. I'm a professional comedian, and I write movies that are hilarious. And well, let me tell you one thing: this show is not hilarious. I don't miss it. I am the watcher. I've been watching the show the entire time, and I agree with Seth Rogen. The show is not funny. It is not, but Aristotle Full Throttle is funny looking. I mean, that is absolutely true. He is funny looking, and well, get on with the show, I guess. None of the buttons are working. Hey. Uh-oh. This is... Oh! Hang on. Batman. Oh. It appears my mouth isn't moving anymore. It seems as though my... Oh, no. It might be the Joker. Oh! My mouth is moving now. The Joker... Oh! Where did you go? The Joker has played a trick on us. He's making it so that our mouths don't move. He must have put some... thing in the air to make our mouths not move. My mouth is staying open. I truly cannot close my mouth. Hold on. Well, there you go. Yes, Aristotle. Actually, that is the real Seth Rogen. He is a part of the show. We've paid him in edibles. Every time he shows up, we give Seth Rogen 2 gummies. Sorry guys, the buttons aren't working today for some reason. I don't know what's happening. I'm pressing all the buttons. If you smash all the buttons, comedy happened. I think the comedy sketch is Control F7. And then the comedy happens. My favorite skit is when the government mandates jabs, then the booster, then quarantine, then they mandate the Matrix battery pod. Yeah, that's hilarious. Are you talking about freedom and free will? Because you have the freedom to quit. Fresh show. Because it just sounds like you're crying. Otherwise, it sounds like you're whining. It sounds like, I don't wanna. Because that, what was that Fresh show? Oh, you don't wanna. Yeah. But I don't wanna. That's what you sound like if you're complaining about all that stuff. But I mean, if you have a good faith argument, I'd love to hear it. If you have an honest, good faith discussion, I would love to discuss it with you. However, if you're like, I don't wanna. It's because I don't wanna. Well, you gotta do this, you know, it's part of the, you wanna work here, you gotta do this. But I don't wanna. Then don't work here. It's easy as that. It really is that simple. What else is trending? Let's see. Bill Murray is trending. He should always be trending. Bill Murray is he a national treasure? Yeah, he's American. So yeah, we can claim him. Bill Murray's ours. I think he's from Chicago. Did you know that a few years ago that Bill Murray would do this thing where he would just show up to houses and party? If you hung a banner outside your house that said Bill Murray is welcome to party here, Bill Murray went on a tour and would randomly show up at these places. I don't know how it functionally worked. Maybe people like posted on the internet these people hanging these banners, and then Bill Murray, if he was in that neighborhood, would go and party with people. And there is footage. I've seen footage. There might even be a documentary about it. For folks panicking at the why the F Bill Murray and Ed Harris are both trending on Thursday morning, they're both fine. And then I went ahead and checked Betty White is fine too. Yeah, Betty White is great. I actually took pictures of Betty White one time. That was a nice thing. She was already 112 years old, and I said, Betty White, you're the greatest. You're the last known survivor of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Welcome. We just lost Ed Asner. Ed Asner, guys, was old in the 70s. So it's sad. I guess the next season of Cobra Kai will address that because he's in Cobra Kai. You guys remember that? Ed Asner is the rich stepfather of Gianni. So I'm actually, hopefully they give a nice little tribute to Ed Asner. He was also the voice of the old guy in Up. You know, the Fauci ouchie, yeah. I don't know. It's just funny to me when people are like complaining about the stuff. They're like, like, just know that that's what it sounds like. When you're like, but I don't wanna. You said a thing? Then I don't. Well, are you Democrat or Republican? Oh, you're a Democrat? Then I don't wanna. There's no agreement on logic anymore. If we can have actual discussions that are in good faith, even Liz Cheney is saying, we're not even telling the truth anymore. This is stupid. It's just us versus them. It's very tribal. It's tribalistic. And that's why we heard it from the pig's mouth today, Werner Herzog.
You heard it from me. I even will address the fact. Yes, people, they want to defy common sense and logic. They want to go against you, the people who drew these paintings behind me. This elephant, you see the elephant, it is the elephant in the room. He was probably trying to say, or at least that is my interpretation, that we should all see what is in front of us. And we should all acknowledge what is real versus what is we wish to be real. So don't be stupid.
Aristotle, are you a Ralph Furley or Mr. Roper fan? Now we're talking. Mr. Furley, hands down. However, Mr. Roper, this is why Mr. Furley, first of all, Mr. Salmaka L, I had a monitor lizard. You guys know what a monitor lizard is, right? It's like the cutest little thing when you buy it, and then it grows to be about this big. It's a gigantic lizard. I had a monitor lizard. I fed him dog food. And he was my dog. Guess what I named him? Mr. Furley. His name was Mr. Furley. So clearly I'm a Mr. Furley fan. However, this is not to undercut Mr. Roper, because Mr. Roper was incredible also. Mr. Roper, with his look to the camera, incredible. Both incredible in their own right. But of course, when they replaced Mr. Roper with Mr. Furley had to bring something totally different to the mix. But my lizard looked just like Mr. Furley, and I had a little picture of Mr. Furley on Mr. Furley's cage. Who are you a Roper or Furley? That is really the question of the day. Mr. Roper or Mr. Furley? Mr. Furley for me. Don Knotts. What a performer. We were blessed to have Don Knotts. Andy Griffith. All that stuff.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Lenny Kravitz is trending. I'm glad to see that I'm trending. I wonder. Let's see. Oh, sweet mother of Jesus. 57? He's got abs at 57? Well, then that gives me hope. He's 57 years old? How many years old is that, though? Guys, 57 looks like it's the new 27, it turns out. A Lenny Kravitz 57. You look like a Lenny Kravitz 57, which means you look probably 30. That's hilarious. Well, I guess you can get abs when you're 57. Congratulations. I gotta start working now, I guess, on my abs. Do it.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
That's a shout out to Fresh Show. The Matrix, though, that's important. I really do like The Matrix. I want to see The Matrix. The new one. I like the first Matrix. The second Matrix, I did not like so much. In fact, I watched it like the one time and then I tried to rewatch it the other day and I was like, this is just too much. It's just too much. It's just stuff. The first movie felt like a movie. The second Matrix just felt like stuff. Like, here's a bunch of stuff. A lot of cool stuff. Some cool ideas. But it's not super compelling. And then there was the Matrix Revolutions, which I cannot remember a single thing from. I don't know what happens in Matrix Revolutions. I know that there's a different oracle. The trick is to stop counting time, which leads to stop counting days, and you stay young looking. That's the trick. It's just me and baby Grogu here. I can't. Grogu is not even on camera anymore. Grogu keeps me young. Grogu, he's 50 years old. Look at him. He looked like a baby. That's me and Grogu trying to stay young. Me? I'm 56. I'm almost there. I'm almost there, Lenny Kravitz. I'm right behind you. Do you think those dreadlocks are real? Or do you think he glues them on? I think he might glue them on. Come on, guys, you know, we start losing our hair and stuff. I pulled out, guys, you're gonna love this. I pulled out an entire head of hair from my drain the other day. I had to put one of them hooks, snakes. I pulled out like this amount of hair. Like, I was like, there must be a clone of me that went down the drain. Like, I melted down because I pulled out an entire afro out of my tub sink, my tub drain. I was mortified. It felt like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know how like the old body would curl up and drop, and that was like the old body. So maybe I went to sleep one night and I came out, I woke up, and then my old body got squished down and put down the drain. Hi, this is the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful time here at Aristotle. Remember the Sweaty Balls sketch on Saturday Night Live? Hilarious.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
Why is Alec Baldwin so good at sketches? Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is from Long Island, and there is a Baldwin, Long Island. Coincidence? Yes. What's trending? No Time to Die. How many more James Bonds is he gonna do? Is this the last? Is this the last Daniel Craig James Bond? Who do we get next? Idris Elba? I think Idris Elba would have. I think we should have started him on James Bond about 10 years ago. Daniel Craig's great though. Remember he literally parachuted in one time to in front of the Queen. Like Daniel Craig literally parachuted in as James Bond. He's got the honorary title of like a MI6 agent right now, which is pretty. Listen, England loves their honorary titles, right? For instance, thankfully now Ringo is a knight. They knighted Ringo after like 30 years after they knighted Paul. Why did they take so long to knight Ringo? Ringo contributed. Ringo's still contributing. He's still the youngest Beatle, even though he's the oldest Beatle. For instance, he's got this new song out and he's dancing around in the field with all these kids and he looks like he's 12 years old. He looks like a Lenny Kravitz 57. Check it out. I think Ringo is going to be here for another 50 years, to be honest. We got to keep Ringo alive. Keep Ringo alive. As long as there's a Beatle in this world, we've got hope. I genuinely believe that. As long as we've got Ringo, things are going to be good. Oh boy. What do you got going on? Apparently I hear the new Wonder Years is good. I haven't watched it yet. I did audition for it a couple weeks ago. Didn't get it. Didn't get the part. I was supposed to play. I forgot what role it was. No, I didn't. But there was a role I submitted for. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I've got so many unread messages in my inbox. I'll have to get to that pretty soon. What do you got going on for the rest of the day? Me? I've got naps scheduled. And then between my naps, I probably will have another nap. Why not? What about second breakfast? Yeah, one breakfast, sure. The Lost Symbol is pretty interesting on Peacock. Ooh, The Lost Symbol. I want to check that out then. Peacock, how is that as a streaming service? I hear that it's starting to like gain some traction. Because it's like, do I have to get another streaming service? Now we're just paying for cable. Now it's just a cable bill. I got rid of cable. You know, here's I don't own television set. A television, a flat screen. I don't own one. I was gonna buy one and then I got rear-ended in my car and now I gotta save money to buy a new car. So I'm not going to buy a new TV currently. I'm going to try to work hard, earn some more money, and then level up in my station in life.
Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. Level up, level up, level up.
And I do appreciate your support on the daily streams. If you subscribe on Twitch, that will help me level up, and that's what I want. I want to be here to entertain you. I want to be able to do this and also perform in film and television, and also watch shows with you on Peacock. I will be able to afford a subscription to Peacock if we get new subscribers. So, yeah. I have not checked it out. I do feel like there are so many streaming services right now that I've got to find a way. I've got to get away. I've got to find a way. Yeah. Let me try to turn this up. I feel like my mic is so low. Yeah, there we go. That's better, right? I feel like my mic was so low. Good.
Do it.
Yeah, that's better, right? Sure. All right. Well, Bill Murray, Lenny Kravitz, Spider-Man 3. So you don't see it many times per hour that the commercials is running without a TV. That's true. I don't see how many times the commercials is running. Is it running a lot? Because I would like to know. I feel like now, though, honestly, I do feel like when I'm walking down the street, people are like, they give me like a double take. I think people might be starting to recognize me from those commercials, which is, I think, great. I forget about that sometimes. I forget about that. I enjoyed doing it. It was fun. It came out pretty cool, the commercial. I enjoyed working with the people I worked with. It was a cool trip. We all watched it here on Aristotle Full Throttle in real time from the time I got booked. You guys can go watch the episodes on my YouTube channel. From the literal moment I got booked, my agent called me in the middle of a show for that commercial, to the time I went away to Bulgaria for a couple of weeks to shoot the commercial and come back, and etc. It was a lot of fun. So, and I do get texts a lot that like, hey, I just saw you on the TV. But I have not gotten those texts as frequently in the last month, so I imagine the plays are dwindling. But hey, it's cool. It's fun. Here's to being Flo. But you could call me Fro. I just thought of that. Instead of Flo, I'm Fro. Redfin runs at least 10 to 15 times per hour minimum. Amazing. Wow. Well then, pretty cool, huh? I don't know what to say. And then I watched the commercial recently, and I was like, oh, I say that in the commercials. So next time someone says, I see a commercial all the time, I'm like, oh, pretty cool, huh? And see if they get it. It was a fun time. I enjoyed it. Cool people, fun experience. I'm glad to have done it. They dressed me, they tailored a suit to me. I got a suit tailored to me. The iSpot, let me see. Yeah, I do watch the iSpot TV. I have tracked it. I couldn't track it because they said you need to sign up on here to see how many times your thing is showing. And then for some reason they wouldn't show me the stats, so I don't know. I just see how many times people are texting me. That's how I gauge it. It's fun. It's fun being on TV. It's fun doing live streams. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I get these opportunities. However, also at the same time, I've been working at this for, don't tell nobody, 20 years. I've been working at it, hacking away at, and just chopping away, woodshedding, just working, going, I would like to be doing this. I've had a couple of, maybe I'll talk about this sometime, but I've had a couple of opportunities, massive opportunities in life that just went away. They were like massive, like this level, like Redfin level, like commercial big campaigns that just disappeared. So I'm very thankful that this one stuck and is running. It's kind of, I am at a point in my career where I try and I audition, but I want to get the part and I want to do the thing, but at the same time I got two modes. I get excited, I work on the audition, I do the audition, I have fun in the audition, and then I go, forget about it. And go, don't even think about it, forget about it. And now I'm able to just immediately forget about it. The trick I do is I just go over to my drums and just start playing drums and banging away at the drums for about 40 minutes, and I go, what was I thinking about? Drums has helped me stay in the moment, literally. If you get the chance to play music, it is the most grounding art form because you literally, it's temporal. You have to do it in the moment. So you cannot let the moment go by. You have to be present for every moment while you're playing music. So that's what I love about music. It is the one thing that keeps me in the moment, just like the show is this one thing. The music is the one thing, and this is the one thing that keeps me here and now. And if you can find that in your life, that is the most important thing. It's called achieving flow. If you have an activity that helps you achieve flow, chopping onions, making a stew, gardening, jumping rope, working out, I don't know, going on a hike, taking pictures, doing a zip line, I don't know, whatever it is that gives you that moment of being completely present, that's the most important thing. So I try to forget about my auditions immediately and then just think about the future because I have been conditioned to accept constant rejection. I don't consider it rejection though. A lot of people are like, oh, if you go into acting, there's a lot of rejection. I just don't consider it rejection. I just think of it as there's stuff going on that they're trying to put together a puzzle, and you say, hey, can I help with the puzzle? And they're like, well, I guess, how can you help us with this? If you can help us, yes. If not, in whatever way, you do the best you can. They see what you offer, and if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't consider that like, get out of here, you're rejected, we don't like you. Like, I just think of it as when they do like you, they like you and they hire you. And that's all there is to it. It's kind of tough to it's tough at first. It's really tough. If you can't handle the constantly working, but you got to enjoy the actual being present for the process. So the audition process, you got to enjoy that. The reading the script, you've got to enjoy that. The getting in the room and talking to the people for the audition, you just got to enjoy that. And then if you enjoy all that, you're just having fun the whole time. And joke's on them. That's what I really love, though, when I go into an audition, a callback, a second callback, and then there's like a bunch of producers and directors in the room. I am like, the feeling I try to have is like, hey, we're all hanging out now. What's up? Like, it's never like or at least it's not anymore. Like it can feel like you're being scrutinized, because you are literally being scrutinized by a bunch of people. But if you can say that this is just a game and I'm having fun and I'm just with my friends, making my friends laugh, or entertaining my friends, or doing something in the moment and live, and just enjoying that moment for what it is, for performance sake, you'll never fail. You'll never be rejected.
Who's been spoiling everything?
And I killed Sparky, too.
Hey, Killeen. K-Griff, welcome. Yeah, I was just talking about, you'll never fail if you just keep going. It's true. A lot of people they're a failed XYZ, and it's like, they're not a failed that if, I don't know. People can use the terms they want. I never use a term like that. I just say, well, I stopped doing that and I'm doing this. Like, you'll never fail unless you consider failure an option. Period. That's all I got to say about that. Am I right, K-Griff?
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
You'll never fail unless you consider failure an option. I think that's true for me, anyway. I think a lot of times people see other people succeeding, too. And I think when they say people come out of the woodwork and stuff, it's kind of true, but I think your true friends, you see who your real friends are, because your real friends are always happy for you when you're succeeding at what you love. The people who you have to kind of give a side eye to, those people are the ones who are passive aggressive about it. People are like, oh, looks like you're doing well, or whatever. Or like they'll criticize. For instance, when I posted on Facebook the Redfin commercial when it first came out, there were a couple of comments under it that were neither complimentary nor they were just these neutral, like, what happened to your voice? It's like, I would have also accepted congratulations. The people who cannot be happy for you, I feel sorry for them, and you should have people who, if you are succeeding in the thing you love, then the people who support you in that are the ones who are worth being around. There are people in life who will see you succeeding at something or changing your career into something whatever. For instance, this brings it back to the Gabby Petito case, sadly enough, but she really wanted to become a blogger, and the person who should be supporting her the most, her partner, who killed her, allegedly, he was disparaging her, telling her she couldn't do it, that he didn't think that she could do it. That was what she was saying, and it was crushing her soul. You could see it. It's very sad. You shouldn't be around those people. You should only be around the people who are like, oh, you are doing something you find fulfilling and that you love? I am so happy for you. Because a lot of times people that aren't doing the thing that they love, a lot of the time that when they act that way towards someone, and they're like, oh, I see that you're doing that now. Well, a lot of people don't succeed in that. there's a lot of rejection in that. When they start saying that, it's like, sometimes they can be kind and be warning you. But a lot of times people want to just tell you, they want to discourage you because they don't maybe have the intestinal fortitude to continue forward in that type of environment. And again, it can suck to feel like you're close to getting something and then losing it, which happens a lot in this business. But if you just consider that all part of what you're doing in life, it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. As much as I've been doing this, for as long as I've been doing this, I have never felt mad at the process. I've never felt mad at the business. I just felt like it's just all part of it. It's all included. When people tell you that you don't appreciate the crappy existence that you have, yeah, that's exactly it. I think there are people who are like, wished they have a pipe dream that they could have done something, but it's fleeting. For instance, I had a partner who is a veterinarian. And a lot of times people would say to her, they'd say, "Oh, I always wanted to be a veterinarian." And they do something else, right? They're like, "Oh, I always wanted to be a veterinarian, but I couldn't handle like the euthanasia, or like I couldn't handle the this or that, or I just feel so bad for the pet." It's like, she would say to me in private, if you really wanted to be a veterinarian, you would have gone to school for 8 years to become a veterinarian. I really wanted to be a veterinarian. And that's how it works. If you really want to do the thing, a lot of times people maybe won't do it, but there's some truth. There's a lot of truth to that. If you really wanted to do the thing, you would have done it. So that's how I feel about life in general. I do have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder because I've been in situations where there have been other people involved in the creative process, and I've had to take on the lion's share and the bulk of the driving force of certain projects, to the point where other people fell away. So I now am thankful I am in a position where I can be my own driving force and be my own person and be my own product. And this is the show that you get. This is the fun we have. We talk about, real stuff, real talk right now. The only person who can mess this up is me. One of your uncles was a vet, and I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. What does zipper mouth? But she actually went to school at Purdue. So, okay, Griff. Indiana. That's and 95% of her class, I think, was female. So whenever you see a veterinarian show on TV and there's like guys walking around being vets, the proportion of veterinarians is like 60-40. There are more women veterinarians than men, generally speaking, or at least the schools, the vet schools, are turning out more females for post-grad. Yeah. But it's interesting. It's kind of funny because I remember we were watching, there was a very short-lived NBC show about veterinarians, and it was like 3 dudes and a woman, and it was like the exact inverse proportion of who she would go to work with every day, as far as gender. But I think we do. I think we've done it.
Impressive. Most impressive.
My experts tell me it's a pyramid.
I could do this all day.
Well, I could do this all day, but I should probably nap because I got up early to finish that audition that I did this morning. I was supposed to do it last night, but I did it this morning. And another reason why I did it this morning is because I learned my lines last night. And there's something to be said about learning your lines the night before, getting up and then practicing them again. They stay in there. They stick in there better. You kind of, your brain solidifies And when you reinforce it in the morning, your brain really does solidify how to do things. The Krebs cycle and whatnot. Purdue isn't a great place for women despite the statistics. I don't imagine it is. This was a while ago. Well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, another successful day of talking about random things other than the title of today's video. Well, my favorite Spider-Man movie is... The first one with... My favorite... I'm not a big Spider-Man 2 fan. But I am a Spider-Man Homecoming fan. I think Spider-Man Homecoming is the one that feels like a Spider-Man movie to me. There was a made-for-TV movie with a Spider-Man actor, who, by the way, if you guys have seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the scene when Leonardo DiCaprio goes into the trailer in the morning and sticks his face in ice and is trying to quell his hangover. The director who comes in with wearing like the long jacket and the slick back hair and the sunglasses, and he's like, "Hey, baby, we're gonna give you a wig with long hair." And Leonardo DiCaprio's like, "You want me to have long hair?" So good. That actor who plays the director played Spider-Man in the 70s. A tall Spider-Man, a very tall Spider-Man, like an Andrew Garfield tall Spider-Man. Spider-Man is small, he's a kid. Michael Keaton made the best Spider-Man movie. Yes, I agree. The Vulture, the scene in the car is all I have to say. The scene in the car on the way to Homecoming, on the Homecoming dance, is what made the movie. Which, by the way, that scene is when my vet partner went to the bathroom and came back, and I was like, "You just missed the best scene in the movie." Like, that was the best scene. I mean, now it's all downhill from there. They took that ice scene from 3%. What's 3%? Less than 0?
I have a certificate.
Well, I hope you guys find that moment of flow in your life. Hopefully I can be the flow. For Redfin, I'll be Fro. For Redfin. Netflix is 3%. Well, I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, K-Griff, you said that Joaquin Phoenix is gonna play Napoleon. That's pretty cool. I could see that. I mean, he already played, what? Cornelius? What was his emperor name? The dude played emperors. He's gonna play another emperor. He's good. Joaquin Phoenix. I can picture him as Napoleon. Do you think he'll have a French accent, or he'll just talk in the way that he talks, which is a very slow way and a very pained way? Everything that he says is very pain. I feel pain every time Joaquin Phoenix talks, and for good reason. He's a good actor. He's an excellent actor. Excellent actor. I mean, he ought to be. His brother was River Phoenix. River Phoenix was going to win an Oscar eventually, and then Joaquin Phoenix scooped it up for him. He did a little relay race. Sadly, River Phoenix died in the parking lot of the Viper Room, which I played a couple times. Viper Room is a nice venue. Used to be owned by Johnny Depp. So I think of that. I pay my respects when I'm at the Viper Room to the late great River Phoenix, who played the young Indiana Jones, who should have just taken over the role by now. He would be the new Indiana Jones. He literally would be just playing Indiana Jones right now, I think. Do you guys think that? Like Eddie Redmayne on Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, Eddie Redmayne, I've only seen the previews. I've only heard him talk in the previews.
I mean, it's a choice, right? You gotta hand it to the Wachowskis. They make choices. And they make choices no other filmmakers can, I think. And I think that's really good. I respect that. I still haven't seen those. I gotta watch more Wachowski movies. V for Vendetta is incredible. Matrix Revolutions felt like they ran out of steam. Matrix Revolutions felt definitely like they ran out of steam. Well, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh wait, tomorrow? What is this tomorrow? Friday? Oh wait, I have a doctor's appointment. I forgot about it. Hopefully, I can make it. Gotta go to the doctor. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been wonderful. You're fantastic.
You do it to yourself.
I forgot about that sound. That's it. We've done it. I appreciate you. You're fantastic. Bill and Ted Matrix Theory? Oh, well, tell us the Bill and Ted Matrix Theory in the Matrix Theories channel on Discord, because I would love to hear it. Because I feel like Bill, Ted, and John Wick are all inside the Matrix.